Yeah, because I do have something at 8 o'clock. So.
Oh, perfect. Well, and we're live as well. So you know the time limit on this. We're back. We're laying it down with Big D. I'm your host, Big D, and today I got Tyler from. Is it pronounced NuTorious?
It's pronounced NuTorious.
Just kidding.
Team
we know.
Nut.
It's NuTorious CEO Tyler. How are you doing today, man?
Man, I'm fabulous. I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be on here. You are the first person to ask me for a podcast or like an interview or anything. You're like I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. Like this is quite. I've never gotten like to talk about, because I know a lot of people see it and they're probably like, what the hell? But like, I don't know. I'm excited.
We get to meet the man behind the legend, because NuTorious is definitely notorious in the scene as well, for good reasons though, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I've never heard any bad things about NuTorious. How long have you guys been around?
So like, I don't know. I guess we had a main team probably in 2022. So I guess that we could consider that like taking it a little serious. So yeah, I'd say maybe like 2022. It says established 2021 on our Twitter, but the origin story goes way before that.
Yeah, take us back, baby. Tell us the origin story.
Well, with a name like Nut, right? I'm sure it's gotta be like kind of a story behind it.
And finally, we're getting the Big D Nut collaboration here as well.
Yeah, laying it down. All right, so I guess like 2016, 2017, like I'm pretty dog like at the game. I suck. I'm not very good, but I did play it back in like 2016, 2017 with my little brother and a bunch of our friends from school. We would just be like Q Silver 2. Like I never learned how to actually play. I was like horrible. But one thing was I like loved the game. It was so fun. Like it was just such a fun, like, I don't know, just a fun time with all the guys from school. Like just when you get like a clutch, even though we were ass, like it was a good time. So we got into that, and then we started watching like some of the pro like esports stuff, and we're like, dude, it'd be so cool to be good at this game, but we're playing this shit on a Macintosh. Like we'll never be like we're just never working out. I didn't know what ESTA was. I didn't know what Face It was back then. I had no clue. I didn't know what any of it was. But I loved watching like I like remember Stewie 2K, just like NA. Like I was just like, this is so fucking cool. I didn't know this was a thing. So I think I was like 17, like 16, 17 years old back then. And we would queue into games. We started queuing into games, like all of our friend group, and putting //nut at the end of our names. And that's kind of like where like the joke started. We were like, oh, what if there was like an actual like professional team called Nut? Everybody would like love that team. Like most people cheer for their teams because it's like, oh, that's North America, oh, that's EU. Like, oh, I'm only gonna cheer for my like country team. But nobody was actually like, I mean, to like my understanding back then, there was a very few amount of people that were like actually fans of like teams. They were just watching to watch, like, you know what I mean? Or like maybe they're fans of like a certain player or whatever, but they weren't like a fan of like the team. Like I'm a fan of the Boston Bruins because I fuck with the Bruins. And so we were like, dude, if there was a team called Nut, like everyone would love that. Like everybody would think that's so funny. So we would queue into our Silver 2 matches with //nut at the end of our names. We'd get like the random like person in our game to switch it. Like we had a little Steam group, but we didn't know what it stood for. It was just Nut Gaming. We would just be like, oh, this is the clan tag Nut. But we had no idea like what it actually stood for. We stopped playing the game for a while. 2020 rolls around. Like this was like a big joke like within our friend group was Nut Gaming. Like pretty much like everyone that I knew like that in my like little online and like real life friends, like everybody kind of knew like, oh, like Nut Gaming. Funny joke. But we never like I said, we never came up with anything else. It stood for I'm watching Conor McGregor fight Big D. All right? Watching Conor McGregor. I never watched a lot of UFC, just decided to watch it one night. I think it was like 2019, maybe 2018, and they announced him as the notorious Conor McGregor. And I ran into my brother's room. I'm like, Hunter, I got it. We haven't played CS in like 2 years at this point. I'm like, Hunter, dude, it would be notorious, like notorious. And like I can see that light bulb in his head just going, ding. I was like, that's so sick. And then we didn't do anything with it for like forever. And that like we just didn't do anything. So yeah, that happened, and then I had a friend who played like Face It and ESEA, and like he was like, "Hey, we're gonna do this thing called Open League. Can we use that name?" And I was like, "Sure, man. I don't care. Like, it's for everybody. It's hilarious. Like, go for it." And so they were Team NuTorious, and that open team just like fell apart after 3 games. So that's a real shock there. But what was great about that was, if you know who Clipzera is on Super Evil Gang, are you familiar?
Yeah.
Shout out Naft. That's my guy. He it was his team. I don't think it was him specifically. It was somebody else. But his team was in IM, and he was good friends with my friend Will, who also owns the team with me now. But Will was the one who did the open team that failed. He was good friends with Will, and he was like, "Oh, dude, that name is so funny. Like, can we use that for our intermediate team? Like, is that an org or whatever?" And like, we were just like, "Yeah, dude, that's an org. Yeah, we're fucking org. Yeah, sure. Like, whatever that means. Yeah, go for it." And he was like, will you pay our Face It subs, or not Face, sorry, ESEA subs? This was season 38, I believe, on ESEA client. And we were like, $10 a person? Fuck yeah. Like, so we did that. It cost us $50 to start the org. And yeah, that's Team Nut. That's how Team Nut was born. And then obviously there's like a ton of other like stuff that happened from season 38 to now, of just like, you know, the original roster. You know, the ship of Theseus, that story where like if you take a ship, it was like a old, like, I don't know, like, you know, one of the Homer-esque tales from like the Odyssey.
Yeah, so
you take a ship
Greek.
And you replace, and yeah, like a Greek. Yeah, it's Greek. If you take a ship and you replace like a board, and then you replace another board, and eventually you replace the whole ship, is it still the same ship or is it a different ship? That's pretty much what happened with the team like 80 times to get to where it is now in advanced. So yeah, that's kind of the origin story, I guess.
Dude, that's sick though. And I mean, just
shout out Clipzera.
Yeah, huge shout out to Clipzera. And I think he's playing for, I just saw him.
Super Evil Gang.
Is he playing for Super Evil Gang now? He just got picked up by them, right? Or has he been playing for them?
He's been with them, I think, in ECL. He's been with them. He was on when they were Headshot Kings in Advanced before they made it. So
damn.
And Alter Iron Club.
He's been around the block, and it's definitely cool to see him like starting to succeed and be at that top level. Well, how do you feel about NACS right now? I mean, you guys are in advanced. Are you guys still in advanced playoffs, or were you guys knocked out? What's the? Yeah,
we got knocked out. We lost to NAF's team, Clipzera's team, Super Evil Gang, and then we also lost to One Win, like Slump and like all like the top puggers.
Oh, you know? So you got like a really hard bracket there to open up.
Yeah, but we also got a forfeit win in between there. Polo's team couldn't play like either of the days, so like we got a win. But yeah, no, it was pretty bad. But I mean, the goal was to make it to playoffs. We were 3-6 at one point in the season, and then we made playoffs. We went 8-6, won out the last 5. So I mean, it's like not much more you can ask for there. I mean, I think it was pretty successful to get to that point. So. I was impressed with the guys.
Well,
for sure.
And how is like VRS stuff shaking things up in your world? Because it really feels like by the end of this year and like by 2026, ESEA League will be like an entirely different looking thing.
Yeah. God, I could go on for like 3 hours about VRS. It's like a really good concept, but I don't think they've quite worked out all of the issues with it before implementing it.
Yeah, we're in a public beta test of it right now. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's exactly. And it's really fucking over a lot, especially in NA because it's just so small. It's really fucking over a lot of teams that I think deserve to be in, certain places. And like I guess like an example would be like what makes me not really understand it as much is when you're like I could be completely wrong and not understanding it, but like say in order to qualify your like tournament or event for VRS, you have to invite teams with VRS. So it's like in order to have VRS, you have to already fucking have VRS. So if you didn't get VRS, it's like it makes it way harder to get VRS. Yes, you can do like the open qualifiers and things like that, but if you already have that VRS, it makes it that much easier. It's almost like it's very gate kept to like once you have the VRS, you're already like chilling. Now you're gonna be getting some good like invites. But like to get those first crucial points is just they made it pretty difficult getting rid of like open qualifiers for things. So
well,
that's yeah.
Well, and I saw that you guys are going to be at Frag 19.
Yeah,
If
we are
so
going.
does that mean that like with how VRS works, are you guys going to try to like be at more LAN events more often just because they kind of play such a crucial role right now?
Yeah, no, we've been to 3 before that, before like the VRS stuff. We went to Chicago in 2023 and beat King's team. Shout out to Nami. It was not the same roster, but and then we went to Philly Tap, which used to be the CS Do tournament, and they turned it to CS. And then we went to Chicago last September or August or whatever it was, like in 2024. And then now we're gonna be going to Canada, St. Clair College in July. Um, I would love to go to every single frag event. What we do is kind of unique, where like I like to like so like if you've seen us there, we bring a bunch of people. Like we kind of like are like I don't know if you've ever seen like any of like our like stuff when we go, but like I bring like there's 4 other people that own the team, and then there's like a bunch of people that like are like as close as you can get to owner. And then like we have like my friends and stuff. The reason we bring so many people is because all those guys pay for like the Airbnb, the food, the ride, like everything. So the players don't pay anything. So like we're kind of like funding it all together, like through like dumbass hood. And like we can only really do it like once a year feasibly to like get everything paid for. And like I it's kind of up to the team if they want to go to more, but like in order to get them there, like the way we like to do it, I mean, at this point in time, maybe 1 to 2 a year, maybe. I mean, things are starting to pick up for us a little bit, so maybe we do more. But I love Fragadelphia. I love them. They
Oh,
rock.
dude. I hope I see you there. I'm still waiting to get confirmation at the time of recording. Who knows? But I'm sure you saw the promo video that we made for Frag 19, and
Yeah.
we had a lot of fun with that. And I just want to, dude, I want to go because I got my passport a year ago for the first time in my adult life. Since I was like, it's been expired since I was like 16 years old, almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
And I got my passport a year ago, and now I live an hour away from the Mexican border, so I probably could just like go use it if I wanted. But I really want to just go to Canada and use my passport finally. I want to go through
Hell
customs.
Yeah. You should come. You should
I
come.
mean, I honestly might
planning
go
it?
no matter what happens, just because
Yeah.
like being at LAN is like it's just such a different vibe. We all sit and scream at each other on the
Yeah.
internet when we're in our online
Yeah.
pugs, but like everybody is everybody's best friend at LAN. Even like the nastiest people online are super chill and different people on LAN.
No, absolutely. I met NBG at one of the frags.
He comes up he's a name that comes up
He's a
frequently.
cool guy.
He is, yeah, dude.
I actually don't mind. I didn't mind him. I also don't play pugs like or anything like that. So he's never typed to me, but he made me laugh. He walked in with like a black eye and like a sling and everything, and he was like, "Yeah, I got jumped." And it was like all like cosmetics, I think, but it got a chuckle out of me. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was kind of funny.
Dude, I introduced myself to him at Vegas, and I was rather flattered because I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you're NBG, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Andrew. I'm Big D." He's like, "I know who you are," and like just walked away from me. I was like, "Oh, okay." That's
Got
sick.
aired out.
Yeah,
Aired
dude.
you out. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
I don't know.
No, dude, I'm very excited for Canada though. It'll be a good time. We will bring all the boys
To
and
the yard.
see what we can do. Exactly. Yes. See what we can do.
So, how many people are going to be there for the Nut Camp in? And are you guys staying in Detroit or are you guys staying in Windsor?
Yeah, we're gonna stay in Windsor. We just don't want to cross the border like multiple times a
Yeah,
day. and
that
stuff.
seems like a bitch.
It'd be kind of a hassle. So I think we got an Airbnb in I think Essex. So I think it's pronounced Essex, but we're just gonna call it Essex because it's fucking hilarious. And I think it's like 12 people, but the guy said we can bring 14 if we want to pay a little extra. We're gonna have the 5 players. They always get beds, no matter what. Like, so the 5 players get beds. I think there's like 3 rooms, and then there's like a bunch of beds like upstairs in like this attic. It's pretty cool. So like all the players get like first dibs on beds, and then we just bring as many people as we can, like my friends, my brother's friends, like just like whoever like wants to come and pay like a certain amount. Like they'll pay like a little more because like there's 5 people not paying for it, but it basically just pays for the whole thing. And like we just have a good, it's like an excuse to like take a trip like with everybody is what it is. It's really fun.
And having like
So,
that many people in like that in that setting too, like
it's good.
it's gonna be fun the entire time. It might be a little hard because if your players are doing well, they might want to like I always know. I remember in Vegas, I was talking to the players. I was like, "Oh, you know, are you guys going out tonight? Are you guys partying?" They're like, "No, we're gonna go back to the hotel and we're gonna watch demos and try to figure things out here." And then as soon as they lose, then they're like, "All right, it's party time."
Yeah. No, that's definitely something I consider when I book the Airbnbs. What I do is I'll find one that has like the beds in a one place, and then like there has to be like a basement or like a certain area away from where they want to go sleep or like look at demos and stuff. So the one that I got has a basement that's like pretty big. So everyone who wants to be loud past a certain time has to be down there, and the bedrooms and stuff are like gonna be quiet spaces, so they can like
that's
rest
sick.
and, like, watch shit. So yeah, So like that's like something that like I like Nut is. I would describe it as like a circus. Okay, it's like it's a joke, but it's also like kind of serious. Like the players, they've all
organized.
played this game for like I don't know about that, but it's it's like these guys. I love them, by the way. Like pretty much like all the guys that have been on this team have been on the team for almost a year or longer. Like they've been doing this with me for like so long. Like, we can get into that later. Like I would love to talk about it because they fucking rock. But like I would describe it as like a circus, right? So our players, they're like the trapeze artists, all right? They're doing like all this crazy shit that like nobody else can do. People in the crowd want to see it. It's fucking fantastic, and like it just rocks. But also at a circus, you gotta have some clowns a little bit there too. You gotta have people throwing pies at each other, being fucking like idiots and shit. We're the clowns, right? So all together it makes the circus, and we work together trying to bring in more people to come fill the audience of the circus. Yeah, I mean, yes, people might want to watch if there's just trapeze artists, but also people might want to watch like people be funny and shit too. So that's kind of like our whole mentality behind it is like, if people are gonna watch like a competitive esport, they're mostly going to watch the teams that are already massive and competing on the big stages. There's no real reason for them to come watch Tier 3 CS. Even though all of our guys have 10K hours, like anyone in advanced, like anyone in Maine who watch those games, it's fucking entertaining, right? But there's no one knows that. It's just they don't know that yet. So how do you get people to come and watch your your team specifically? You have to give them something else they're not getting from anywhere else. And that's kind of where we came up with the idea of, okay, what if we just shitcast these games and like try to cater to an audience of the more casual viewer, because all the people who want to watch competitive CS already are taken. Like that pool has been kind of fished in already. You know what I mean? So we're kind of trying to fish in a different direction, and it's actually been pretty successful. Like it's been doing pretty good. Like I would say, like off no money, no backing, really no sponsors. It's been great. But yeah, players are all on board with like our like shenanigans. We even have like our friend do like an actual cast, so like they can get like their family members or friends if they want to watch like a real cast. He does like those, and we always like promote him too and rate him after. It's Fusion, if you know who Fusion is. Obviously, it's like he's always on Twitter like talking shit. But yeah, shout out Fusion. So yeah, I think we have a pretty good formula right now, a really good prototype of like what we could be if we were at a higher level, and it's all kind of just like not in any rush. Like we don't have to make it here, we don't have to make it there. Like what we're doing is perfectly fine. Grow our audience to a certain if we can grow our audience larger over the next year, 2 years, we can get sponsors and then eventually, pay enough so that our guys can put in more hours into the game. Because I think that's the biggest issue for NA right now, is we don't have the financial backing for players to get money in order to play the game more.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
That's what it boils down to, in my opinion.
I think
it sucks, but
I think that's one of the most unknown things to the average Counter-Strike player in North America, especially young and upcoming ones that don't even have like an idea of how like the world works outside of like whatever game they're playing, is the fact that like org owners, especially in North America, are all doing this as a passion project, and
It's out of my pocket.
Yeah,
It's
it's
out of
right
my
out of their
pocket.
pocket. And I have not met an org owner that is some loaded dude yet that's just doing it because he's loaded and has a bunch of time on his hand. Like, it's like a Counter-Strike player that loves
Yeah.
the game and wants to support the scene and is working
Yep.
full time outside of that. So yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's been one of the big, like, even
And they're all
Philadelphia.
great. They're all great people too. Like I've met so many
Yeah.
like awesome other guys. Like, I mean, shout out Taben or not Taben. Sorry, Saban, dude.
Taben.
You know, I was thinking, yeah. Shout out Taben too. Shout out Taben too. Shout out Saban and shout out Tuna as well. Those guys rock.
Big Tuna.
And I said King too.
Oh, yeah.
Tuna from Amped. Yeah.
Oh,
I met
yeah,
them.
Big Tuna.
I met Tuna. Met Tuna at some of the frags. But yeah, dude, they're all awesome people. They all work like full time, like straight out of their pockets, just for the betterment of the community. I love it.
They're good people, dude. Yeah. Well, and that's what I appreciate about this scene, and where it's like, as a caster as well, like I've gone along this journey thinking like, oh, if I get good enough, then people are gonna like pay me big bucks or whatever. And it's like, oh no, like everybody's like kind of doing this because they love it. And so like as time has gone on, I like want less and less payment from people because I'm like, no, we'll get stable income somewhere else. But for now, this has just got to be because we fucking love the game, dude. Like that's what you have to be in it for right now.
Yes. And that is like one of the most like fundamental things too about like just the roster itself that we have. Like the way I see it is they would be playing the game no matter what. Like there's a lot of free agent teams, like they're playing the game no matter what. So like I feel like what we offer them, like offering them like a slight audience and like this like kind of idea behind like what we're doing, like making the content and everything like that, like it like adds on. But right now, like they're playing for the straight up pure love of the game. Like the motherfuckers will work or like go to school for the entire day, then come home and spend 3 hours doing practice and then like pug all night and then get up and do it again. Like they're putting in like 30 hours a week, or I guess 15 hours. So 30 hours every 2 weeks, like practicing as a team. And like, this is most teams in advanced will be putting in at least 30 hours every 2 weeks, team practicing, not just like practicing on your own, on top of their job, school, family, like so they're doing all this shit. And like, you know, it makes sense that we're a little bit underdeveloped as a region. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's hard to get full-time hours playing a game that you can't just I don't know. You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm saying, right? Like,
I do. This is
am I
actually
making sense?
You got a perfect segue into one of my favorite questions that I ask everybody right now is like, what are some of the glaring issues with NACS that, from your vantage point, that could get us? Yeah, content.
Content.
I like where you were talking about it. The fact that like you're like, well, how do we get people that don't play CS to watch CS, right? Like, or the people that are like only ever playing CS and don't know how fun it is to watch NACS, right?
Exactly.
Like, how do you get those people shifted over? Because we lost so many people to Valorant, right? And that sucks ass. But I have a feeling they're going to come crawling back here soon.
Dude, I hope. I will hold out hope for that. That would be great. Yeah, we lost a bunch of people. I mean, dude, the scene used to be popping back in like 2018 with the Cloud9 major run. I mean, that obviously helped the scene a lot. And like the streamers, right? So you had Tarek and Shroud, and like those guys kind of stopped playing the game, and I think that really impacted it. I think it just boils down to content. Like people, like it's got a really strong, like CS is like, I think it's like the second most popular esport right now in terms of like viewership, right? Or I might be mistaken, but it's definitely up there. Like it's definitely one of the most popular esports.
Yeah, the top four are League of Legends, Dota, StarCraft, or Rocket League, and Counter-Strike. So like, it's always
over 100K. It's always over 100K viewers, like the big events. Like when you look at that and then you like find out like how actually dead NACS is, it really doesn't add up until you like understand like, okay, like Europe has like 3 million Faceit users, we have 300,000K, makes sense a little bit more.
Right.
But I think the real issue really boils down to content. There's so many more. So if you think about like the amount of people who play CS competitively, like sweat their ass off, scream at like Ukrainians and pugs, like fucking like get pissed off, like people who are hardcore playing the game, like it's very small amount in North America, very, very small amount. But the amount of people that play the game just casually, like with their friends or after work with homies, don't even know what face it is, like what me and Hunter used to do, like in 2017, like just have fun and like laugh on the game. That amount of people is so much larger than the small like 1% of people who take it seriously. And the small 1% of people who take it seriously are really the only people that care about the esport, at least here in North America, because we are not giving them any sort of content. Like in Europe, the amount of people that play like competitively is so massive. That's why like their viewership and stuff is a lot larger, in my opinion. This is all just like opinion based on my opinion. But since like our competitive scene, everybody. Since our competitive scene is so small, the amount of like, okay, dude, I'm about to unlay down because now we're about to fucking get serious. The only way you make money in esports is off of advertisements, or you can do this thing where this is actually what happened in 2020 when they call it a bubble, right? Everybody knows about the bubble. So when you get an investor, say I start fucking Ballsack Esports, right? It's almost nut, but Ballsack Esports, right? And I make it look unbelievable. Like I put up a bunch, I get like the greatest team in North America. Like I do all this shit, and I make it look unbelievable, and I sell it off to a fucking investor, and they buy a piece of it. Right? The only reason that investor is investing into Ballsack Esports is because of how sick I just made it look. He wants to make it look sicker and then drop it off to another investor. Like that, their only goal when they're investing is to invest so that they can pump it up. That's what they did to FaZe. They bought FaZe. Like all these like corporate guys will buy FaZe, make FaZe like look better to the corporate world, like getting like fucking Snoop Dogg and like all. Look we just got Britney Spears to shake ass on the FaZe logo. Look at this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Dumb shit like that. I don't know if that actually happened. That didn't actually happen. But my point basically being that like people were only investing in esports to just like dump the bag off to some other investor, and like eventually it's gonna get to a point where like that investor can't make any money off the next person. So then like it gets bought back by Jason Lake. Right? So my point being is the profit in esports can only really come from sponsor, like an audience, like having an actual dedicated audience. Unless you want to be like not scummy. I'm sorry, that's not really a word, but like I guess it's smart business wise. But that's not really what I'm doing this for. I'm not doing this to try and sell it off to investors. I want to do this because I genuinely want to like be at a major one day and have everybody just going nut, and just like have a fucking bush light and like be like, this is fucking hilarious, guys. Like this is so funny. Like that's what I want to do. And I mean, like I can't get there without getting money. Like I can't get there with like it's obviously I'm a realist. Like I understand like we have to make money somehow. It's got to be a business, but the purpose of the business is for the love of the game. It's not to just dump fucking shit off. And I think I guess my main point being the common denominator between successful teams is your audience, and you can get your audience in different sort of ways. And like the status quo has been mostly getting your audience because your team is performing at the highest events. That's why people love like certain teams, like FaZe, Complexity. Like you mean like they're performing in the big events, so they get like their audience, so they get their sponsors and they get their investors, and that's how they make their money. If you want to start an org, nobody's going to watch Ballsack Esports if it's in main or advanced or even really ECL because there's no audience for NA. So you just have to make your own, I guess is my point. You have to make your own. You have to provide something a little bit different. So, I mean, I'm not sure if you're like familiar with like our other, like our content, like on Instagram and TikTok. I don't know if like, but like we basically,
I stay off social media unless I absolutely have to be on there.
Yeah, so I bro, makes sense. I wish I could, but we have like I think around like 20K on TikTok or a little bit over that, and then we're approaching 10K on Instagram. I started posting on Instagram when TikTok got shut down, and like the Instagram is doing fucking insane right now. Like we're getting 1 million views a month right now on there, and it's like absurd. And like that's like what it takes. Like I've been trying to like I don't know. I love King, but like. It's not like a competition. I don't like view it as like I want these other orgs to like start doing some of the bullshit that we do. Like maybe not copying or anything like that, but like I want to like help. Like the more we like, I don't know, the more content that we can put out to like the the normal people, the people that don't play like Face It Pugs and stuff, the more people that are gonna come and want to watch and be invested in like, oh, like this is some cool shit that's going on. They have like a whole league and shit. Like the amount of people that like ask or like DM us and like, so like how does this work? Like what are they playing? And I explain the league. They're like, that's fucking so cool. Like what? And then they get invested, and like that's why we have like people, like that's why we have like what, like 80 people watching a regular season advanced game of like a fucking 3-6 team. Like that's the reason, is because those people would never be watching in the first place. We have to create our own audience at this point. We're at that stage. I don't know. Sorry for rambling.
No,
just
dude,
like
this
fucking
is your
tangent
time.
for like.
No, well, listen,
Sorry.
buddy. I'm just sitting here
I get
thinking about
passionate
how I can get involved to help you create content as well, because that you're preaching to the choir here, because I feel the exact same way and have felt that way for a long time, and that's why I'm more focused on. I don't know where I'm gonna end up. I probably need to get on social media more if I really want to grow that audience, right?
I mean,
but
even this podcast, you should be posting. You should like be getting like some clips and stuff. Like that would be awesome. Like getting like
posting
clips.
it on shorts or whatever.
Yeah, like shorts or like Instagram Reels and TikTok and that type of stuff. Like everyone should be like if every team or like org that says they want to be an org was serious about it, they would be like ripping the content game right now. It's not about like ripping out tweets like, hey, we're playing today, by the way, because everyone on Twitter is already a part of the like scene. They're already playing their own games. They don't care about your like everyone that like is on our like Twitter. Like I'm only on Twitter to like stay up to date with like the news that's happening in the scene. It's like nobody like that's gonna like want to be a viewer. Nobody's a viewer. Everybody's doing their thing on there. Everybody's a competitive player on there. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have to branch out to like the masses and start making some like even like ECL teams, like even like complexity. Like where's the fucking content? Like we should be putting shit out, guys. I mean, maybe they are, and maybe I'm just not seeing it. So, but like
I was asking the hard-hitting questions here.
Where's the fucking content, man?
Where's the fucking
just like,
content?
We sit here and we go, dude, why is our scene so dead? And then like it's like there's no reason to watch, guys. Let's fucking do some shit. So I don't know. That's sort of like gets me. And like if people start doing that, like then the money starts coming in. Guess what? The reason you want to have views is so we can get sponsors. Who the fuck is gonna sponsor a scene that like we get maybe 1,000 people watching our ECL game, like maybe 1,000 watching the ECL games? Like there's no reason for a big sponsor to come in and start sponsoring events. Like that's just, it's no reason. You got to start making people care. Like people will care. There's people that play the game. Like there's people that like, look at Jinxie. Jinxie's a great example, I think, because like obviously it wasn't like, he's not like, I don't watch a lot of Jinxie, but R6 is not that, I guess it's a popular game, but like CS is a way more popular game than R6. And right now CS, to my like knowledge, doesn't have any big streamer like Jinxie. We have like OniPixel, or like we have big European streamers, but there's no like big NA creators anymore. Like they've all kind of left.
It's
and like Jinxie revived. Flum, but like he's a lot of viewers, 1,000 viewers, great. Jinxie gets 60,000. Like it's like we don't have a Tarek like
anymore.
That exactly. That's what we're missing. And so if the community could just like it doesn't need to be one person or like one org. It could be like all of us. Like you know how like I don't know. Like I wish we could like make storylines and shit. Like, oh, dude, Team Nut versus like whoever. Like, you know what I mean? Like people like actually knowing what's going on in the league. Like I think it's so cool. Like I don't know. People should be making more content. I guess that's my thing. I'll stop repeating it. We'll go move on.
No, dude.
I think I made my point.
I'm loving it. Well, we are running a little short on time here, so I'm going to ask you a couple more questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then we'll wrap up. But you're more than welcome to come back on here sometime. So eventually, I'm going to make the loop and have everybody in NACS on and need to have repeat guests.
Yeah, literally.
Like you said, everybody on you're preaching. Yeah, you're speaking the truth about Twitter. I'm like, yeah, it is literally everybody else. Like that's just where you know what other people are doing.
Exactly. No one. Yeah, can't grow a fan base really.
Are you going to the major?
Bro, I wanted to so bad, but like smart financial decision to not go. Cause we're going to frag, and like that's gonna take a hit on the old NuTorious bank account. So so we decided to not go. I also try to avoid planes as much as possible because I'm schizophrenic. So No.
Really?
I'll get on a plane. It's like a big meme in like our like community that I'm afraid of planes. I'll get on a plane if I really need to. Like if someone gave me a major ticket, I would obviously get on a plane and go because like I feel like that's worth dying for. But like,
That's how I feel about the
but if they want me to fly for like some bullshit wedding, like they can fuck no. No.
Oh my god, dude, that's
No,
so
I'm
good.
just kidding.
I feel like I've made a new friend here today because I fucking hate flying too, dude. The airport, being on the plane, and just being the whole thing is just shit. I hate it, and I avoid it as much as possible. I'm honestly considering taking a train to Detroit if I go to Friday
Dude, we're driving, dude. We're going 10 hours. We drove to Chicago last time I was 14. We're driving, dude. We're driving. Hell no, I'm not getting on a plane. Now, if we were in the major, like I said, I would,
there's a different story, but that's worth dying for, like you said.
Going out that way. But someone said to me, they're like, oh, dude, like, why are you so afraid of flying? You know, like when it's in the air, like they almost never crash. Like in the air, it's only on landing and takeoff, and I couldn't believe that. I was like, dude, it does that twice. Like, what do you mean? Like, how do you think we get up there, bro?
It can't get up in the air without those
without
things.
Landing and taking off, dude. Sometimes you have to land twice. Sometimes you do a go around. Like, hell no.
Yeah.
Shut up. No.
Well, and with the air traffic controller shortage that's been going on too, it's even freakier.
I don't like that type
of
news. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Don't like
it's just like, all right, well, I guess I'll roll the dice on this summer, but hopefully I don't have to too many times. All right, dude. Well, I was gonna ask. Here's my last couple of questions for you. Is what are your major predictions? How much do you follow professional CS outside of your?
Yeah, I'm pretty. I follow it pretty well. So I had dude. Look, it's not. I shouldn't say it's not gonna happen, but God, dude, I just want another Cloud9 run. But the Cloud9 run wasn't actually 3-0, so like I probably shouldn't have put them 3-0, but it's not. I'm gonna fix it actually. Fuck it. NRG's not going 3-0. I want them to so bad. It's just fucking hope. But Heroic's going 3-0 as well in that first stage. I should probably just change it though, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. We'll see.
You have NRG going 3-0?
I do right now because I was just like hammered and I was like, they're gonna do it. I don't. It's just like that would be insane if that happened, but it's not happening. Who do I have? I just think Falcons or Vitality are gonna win it. It's just yeah. Falcons or Vitality.
Win it.
You think they're gonna do it again, dude? I can't stand it. If I get another Vitality Mao's grand final, I think I'm just done watching. I don't even want to watch anymore. Like. Mao's has got to be the most auraless team, and I hate using that word because I'm like 30, but like, dude, they just fumble like it's just so brutal to watch.
They are hard to watch, and I love watching Vitality right now though because I've been following Zywoo for 6 years, dude, and it's so cool to see this fucking roster around him.
Rops is the difference maker on that roster right now. Like, as soon as they added Rops, man, they just, like, it was like a
locked
piece.
In.
It was unbelievable. I do you think the Apex, like, the fuck you Apex thing is really funny? But I also think he's an incredible player.
Yeah, dude. I think it's funny because he eats it up as a player. Just like when he plays into it. When Darth Mike was in Dallas a few years ago, he couldn't get the t-shirt cannon to work and got booed just every time he walked out by the entire crowd. Yeah. But like, he was like leaning into it and having fun with it. So like when it's in good fun, fuck yeah, dude. I'm into the banter. It's just when people cross the line and like make it like personal or try to like make you genuinely feel bad about yourself. That's when I'm like, come on, dude. We're like,
it's not that serious.
It's not that serious. We're playing a video game at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And we're not playing a pug right now online. If you pugs,
and it's not a pug.
All bets are off. You say whatever you want there.
Yeah. Hashtag free Jeff, by the way. Hashtag free him. Dude, they banned one of our players. Game banned him for a week, and we had to play a playoff game without him.
Oh, that sucks.
Like literally, arguably like our top performing guy.
What happened
Wasn't even a
to
Q
him?
ban. I will say he didn't slur. He didn't say any crazy shit.
We like
okay?
that.
Love it. Okay. He was playing against some of Slukey's buddies, and they were talking shit to him. And he wrote back. He might have said some things about Ukraine. You know, I do not think what he said was like good at all, and he should 100% be Q banned. Should not be allowed to queue for however long they deem. But game ban is just ridiculous because that punishes the 4 other guys that grinded their ass off to get to where we were. Like it just like fucks us. Like, and I understand. Face it. Like, you know what I mean, like. I get it. Like banning him for that. Yeah, he should not be fucking typing some of that shit. But like to fucking not allow him to play advanced playoffs is so Mickey Mouse, and like I just think it's so stupid. Like we had to scramble to get our other guy who's like roster riding. I shout out Cav. I love Cav. But like he had a PC at his parents' house that got like 90 frames, hadn't played in 3 months, had to update Windows, so we had to like delay the match. Like just like so fucking dumb they wouldn't let him just play one more match. Like we probably weren't even gonna win anyway, but like just to let him play, just stupid. I don't know. That's my feelings on the that's my take.
Well, we
100% should
it.
be Q banned for being an idiot though. He should not be typing stupid shit.
Yeah.
But
well,
whatever.
I've got one last question here before I let you go, and this is the same question I ask everybody. I would ask where your name comes from, but you don't have like a funky online name. Although we could go over what does eggless omelet mean?
Yeah, I mean eggless omelet. That is my name online. I made it when I was 13 years old because I saw a funny YouTube video and just decided to make that my name. And then as the years went on, people kept asking me what it was, and it was just like pissing me off one day, and I just told them it was a cumlet because it's got no eggs in it. And like that's just what I've been saying now. It's just a cumlet. Yeah. Did not make it with that intention. Didn't even know what that was probably back then. So, you know, but everything has a strange way of working out. You know, it's just.
But when you did first say it to me, the first question I asked was, "Is that just a pile of cum?"
You were literally the like first person ever to say that to me, like to
That's
like
just
to say
such a
that
funny
to me.
phrase.
It's literally the first person ever. I was so impressed. I was like, dude, how did you know? Like, how'd you figure that out? Good, dude.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we end, I should shout out. So before we end, I should have said this in the beginning, but I do
give
own
us some plugs, and then I have my real last question for you.
Hell yeah. I do own the team with 4 other people. It is my brother Hunter, my very good friend Brandon, my other so good friend William, he makes pizzas, and also my really good friend Jimmy, my lifelong friend Jimmy. So the 5 of us are all owners of the team, and then there are some people that are as close as you can get to owner. Shout out Hooli. None of this is possible without Hooli. I love Hooli. He casts the games with me every time. Like the other owner guys, they all like work corporate jobs and they help fund it and shit. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not. Hooli's there every single time with me, so shout out him. And like we don't get those funny clip farms without him. And also Fusion. And I mean, there's way too many people. But like, yeah, those guys, Ramen. I love Ramen. Shout them all out. Yeah, no, everybody. If I didn't say your name, I apologize. I wanna get him to get his last question out before I just literally list off 100 people.
I mean, who knows? You can go on however many you want.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my last question for you. And this can be Counter-Strike, esports related, whatever you want, life related. If you could talk to a younger version of yourself, maybe the 13-year-old version of yourself that came up with eggless omelet.
He was right. He was straight. He was good.
Yeah, he got it figured out.
It's a good idea.
What's some advice you would give yourself? Like what's something for the next generation?
That's good. That's a really good question. I think that there's a lot of things that happen when you're younger and you think like, oh, the world is ending. Like, this is my whole entire life. Like, how could this happen to me? I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, an example I'm thinking of right now is like when I was in high school, you know, I went to like a really good high school for hockey and ended up getting cut from the varsity team my junior year. And that like like fucked me up real bad because I remember I worked out that whole summer. I like put on 10 pounds. Like I was like just like I dedicated my entire summer to like just getting better. And for that to happen, like just like in an instant, like actually like devastated me to a point where like I just like wouldn't go hang out with friends. Like I just didn't do anything. It's like when you're that young, like you don't really have like a full outlook on like, I don't know, life itself. I think my advice would be that when bad things happen, yeah, it's okay to be sad for a second, but there's always a reason why something shitty will happen. Even if it's not a good reason, sometimes there's always a way to spin it in a way that will have a positive outcome for yourself. So
I think that's brilliant.
I didn't find it though in high school. I definitely didn't find no. I didn't. but I think I'm doing a little better. Not holding a grudge anymore. I had a beer with that old coach a couple days ago. So
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and things that happen, especially when you're young and under 25, like under 30, and it so happens to me now where I like have to think like this is just not gonna matter in 2 years or 3 years. Like you realize like things time is the great healer of everything, dude. So
yes, and to add on to that too, like I've started like living my life like in a way where like I think of myself in the future as like somebody that I don't want to like fuck over. Like before, like I'm kind of just like not really thinking ahead. Like I'm gonna go do this dumb shit, and then like I wake up in the morning and like, you know, like I feel like shit or whatever. Like I mean, like not necessarily like short term, but maybe long term. Like, hey, like when I'm 30, am I gonna look back and be like, thank God 25-year-old me was smart enough to do that, or like thank God 30-year-old me was smart enough to do that when I'm 50. And like when I turned 50, I like the whole reason I started, you know, pursuing this whole like Team NuTorious thing was like when I'm 50 years old and I like can't do it, I don't want to sit there and be like, oh wow, like I had such a good idea, like I should have done it back then, man. Fuck, like I wish I did it. I want to be able to sit there and be like, hey man, like I'm glad I tried to do that. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but like at least I like tried to do it. So I think like kind of like living for your future self in a way, like I don't know, giving setting yourself up in the future to be like, hell yeah, dude, good work back then, buddy. Like you fucking helped me out. Like so, not fucking yourself over. I guess. Thinking ahead a little bit. Yeah.
Thinking ahead so that your future self isn't living with regrets is a beautiful way to do it. So, all right, dude. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on.
That was
a lot of laughs and fun, and we are
no longer laying it down. I'm standing up.